Hello everybody. As promised yesterday, I come back with some news. We received a new letter that clarifies that our suspension letter that we received in January, end of January, and the termination letter that we received end of February are both cancelled, and that we should resume work as normal, as planned during this award. Not just the life-saving work, but all work. Okay? So this is great news. Okay, this is great news. Let it sink. Let it go through us. Okay? I know that as we speak right now, my colleagues and the legal team and the lawyers are working to produce letters to our grantees and to tell them that after the suspension, after the termination, this is the termination of the termination and the work should proceed. Now, I don't want to sound like a party pooper, but I will, because all of this are coming with, a grain of salt. And you know that I am a bit on the pessimistic side always, and I'm always seeing the sad part of things. But this time there are some worries that we have. And there are three. First of all, I don't know how many other organizations received this type of information, this type of letter like us. I hope as many from the TB, HIV, malaria, and other diseases space. But I know that is not the case. I don't think all. And I know there will be others that will still be in the termination phase. And I'm afraid there will be still very many. So I have the full sympathy and the worry for all of them in this situation. The second point is related to us, is related to the fact, to us all, is related to the fact the pipeline for funding is still not opened, and that means we cannot draw any funds and we cannot pay even the work that was done in January. Leave aside looking forward. And when you get this kind of news, the work should resume. Everybody will have this enthusiasm and drive to really go forward, to do even more, to catch up what was lost during February. And I'm really worried that we will not be able to pay this amount of work. So my plea to our grantees and our partners that receive funds from Stop TB is to breathe. We will have a series of calls next week to discuss how to proceed further, because I don't think we should launch ourselves suddenly in big things. We should be prudent and smart and very responsible, okay, in what we do. The third thing that worries me, and I think after I will speak it will worry you as well, is we don't know if this is a final decision, if this is a permanent one, if this is forever, if this is something will be further reviewed. And I don't know, and the fact that we don't know this is very difficult, because we know that some grantees that received initially a suspension letter, now then a termination letter, they actually fired people, sent people home. And of course, people can be brought in, but you need to know what do you offer? What kind of contract is being offered of, a few weeks, a month, 2 months. So I hope we will get the answers. Don't take me wrong, because it's still very recent, all of this. So I wanted to share with you, and we will share with you. But these are unanswered questions, and we need to seek clarity for them. So what next? Next, I want to say there are 3 or 4 things. One is, as I said, next week we will be together in a series of calls related to our work as a Stop TB partnership with all our partners, with all our grantees, and with all our friends at the country level, in terms of not only the grants from Stop TB, but also looking forward to the World TB Day, and also looking forward in general. For the World TB Day, we need to be more vocal than ever. We need to be more united than ever. But I don't think we should go in organizing big, flashy events. I think we should be composed. We should be mindful for the losses that happened during the month of February and the losses that will continue, because I know that there will be work that will not be done and grantees that are not back and might not be back at all. And we don't know for how long we are back. So I think noise, but moderate, if that something like that exists, or ponderate. The third point that I want to make is in relation to what next, is I think this situation should be the very cold shower that we all needed. in terms of understanding how we can come together to work in a different way, not only at national level or subnational level, but as well as at regional and at global level. I think there are many ways in which we can deliver, many ways in which we can be more flexible and agile, slimmer, but more efficient. There is always space for more. And we should take this very, very difficult month of February as a lesson to all of us that we should never allow to have again in life. Over-depending on only one donor and allowing the situation in which countries and people in countries with different diseases, starting with TB, depend fully, in some countries, fully on the funding received from outside. We should go back and we should do whatever we can to support the countries, to support these governments, to support the leaders, and to support the civil societies to demand and to come together to create solutions in which the domestic funding should at least secure that the citizens of countries are really being taken care of, and that this situation in which we depend on one donor that can review their policies overnight, it's absolutely the right. We should not be so much impacted by it, and we should work in a smarter way. So that is something we should not believe now. There will be a tendency, like with every stress, when it goes out, there is party and people relax and people are like, okay, we go back to business as usual. This is and should not be business as usual as we go to the future. And here in Geneva, or starting with us here in Geneva, and the very many organizations here, we should understand that we should come together and really work in a different way, everybody delivering for their own mandate, and do this kind of things in which everybody does everywhere in the same time. Now, I want to finish this. I thought I will be below 8 minutes, and I want to say thank you. I have to admit that I am impressed that congressmen and senators and representatives in US took the time, I think, to understand TB, I think, to understand what it means, an airborne disease, and to take this decision. I know that a lot of our partners advocated and took a lot of their own time. Okay, a lot of people in US, we as Stop TB, we don't fund organizations in US. Our mandate is to fund high burden countries. So 95% of our funding is going to the high burden countries. Very few are in the high income countries, and I don't think we have any grantees in US. So people didn't go there to fight for their money. They went there to explain, and I understand they made calls and had meetings and pushed with the congressmen and the senators to really explain what means TB, to really explain to me what is an airborne disease, and to really explain the risk for everybody, starting with the US people, US citizens, that a disease like TB, airborne, is being terminated, is being, the support to end the disease like TB is being terminated. The disease is not terminated, but maybe the new administration can help actually to terminate this disease. So I want to thank to all those that shoulder to this. I want to thank those that are in the made in the decision-making position that took this decision. It means that they understood that it contributes and helps this make US safer and US people safer. I want to thank you all. This is just the beginning of a very long trip, and to be very honest with you, I don't know how long this trip is, and I don't know if we have the money to buy the tickets, but we continue on the trip, and the trip goes towards ending TB, and we will end TB. With or without the ticket paid or not, we will end TB, because yes, we can do it. Thank you.